Okay, so first cellular diagram of pneumatophore, the internal structure. First we will draw the outline part. So we will have this outermost layer of epidermis. Then we will make the cork, which is here trilaminar. So 3 layered cork is present. So you will approximately mark the area. We will draw the different shapes of 3 layers later on. Then we have, you can make it straight just for reference. Okay. So next we will have few cells for cork cambium. Then there is cortex, single layered endodermis, pericycle, which will be sclerenchymatous and parenchymatous. Below this there would be primary and secondary phloem. Then few layers of cambium, vascular cambium, and rest of the part will be the secondary xylem. And you can show few primary xylem patches. Okay. So we will start making the structure. The outermost layer is disintegrated. So at certain places you will leave gap where we will draw a lenticell. So the cells, they are rectangular cells without intercellular spaces So this is epidermis, ruptured epidermis. Then we have cork. Now the outer layer of cork has oval shaped cells with lacuna. And you will leave the space for lenticell. So you will draw oval cells, leaving some space in between. Now after this, there is a layer of middle cork, and the middle cork cells, they are just like the rectangular cells. Okay. So this is middle cork, and then we have elongated cells that represent internal cork. So you will make the palisade like cells, but no intercellular spaces here. So columnar cells, so these are the 3 layers of cork. Now below this layer we have the separation layer. Separation layer, simple cells in order to separate this area of cork, the laminar cork, from cork cambium. So, we will make few layers of the rectangular cells. You can show alternating cells. So, this is a separating layer, and then you can draw one more. Few cells in this layer, the separating layer, below in the lower layer we will show. These cells, they are just like the cambial cells. So, you can show aligned cells, because from cambium, cork cambium, firstly the separating layer initials are formed, later on they get differentiated to form different layers of cork. So, you can show two layers of perfectly aligned cells, two layers of alternating cells and two of aligned cells. So, this is a separating layer. Then we will make cork cambium. So, for cork cambium, one layer exactly below these cells and a continuous layer. So, you have to show this in the region of lenticel as well. In order to differentiate, we are marking a dot in these cells. Okay, so this is cork cambium. Now, so we are using this complete area for cortex now. For cortex, you have to draw the stellate cells. For stellate cells, firstly we will mark the regions of spicules. You will make slightly bean shaped structures, large structures, double walled at different places in this area. Okay, so from these the stellate cells will arise. So, you will make long slightly wavy cells radiating from spicules. And these are chlorenchymators, so they have abundant chloroplast. Wherever required, you can draw another spicule, because all these should be linked. So, this way you will complete the area. You can draw 4, 5, 3, okay, as many branches as you want. Okay, so this is a layer of cortex, and in this you will show dots which represent chloroplast. So this way you can complete this area. Now the next part is endodermis. So the cells of endodermis, they are barrel shaped large cells and they have starch grains. You can make small circles in order to make this layer differentiating. Now next layer is pericycle, and pericycle is heterogeneous type. Here we will draw the patches of sclerenchyma and parenchyma. So you can mark certain areas. For example, we are going to show 3 bundles here, as many patches of sclerenchyma as we are going to show the primary xylem. Okay. So you will make polygonal cells in this area. All cells are polygonal. This way you will fill this area. Then to differentiate the parenchyma from sclerenchyma in certain region, okay, you will mark circles. These are not dots, these are small circles, because a narrow lumen is present in sclerenchyma cells, and it's not like xylem. There we have to show a wide lumen. So you will show few cells with sclerenchyma, again leaving certain gap of parenchymatous cells. Again, let's suppose you mark this much area with sclerenchyma. I can make the boundaries darker. So this will be sclerenchyma. Then again some area of parenchyma, and the third patch of sclerenchyma. So this way you have to show the alternating patches of sclerenchyma, parenchyma, then again sclerenchyma, parenchyma. Now below sclerenchyma we will show the primary phloem. It's a crushed primary phloem. So we will make only few cells in this area, and those cells, they should be smallest cells of your diagram. So this way you will fill these areas in order to mark primary phloem. Polygonal cells. Okay. Now this much area, the broader one, this represents the secondary phloem. So here also you will make small cells, but at certain places you will make large sieve plates. So mark those areas earlier, hexagonal, polygonal, mark these areas. These will be sieve plates. Rest of the cells, they should be smallest. Dots here represent sieve plates. So you can fill this area with small polygonal cells. Okay, this way you will complete this region of secondary phloem. Now the next is vascular cambium. So vascular cambium cells, rectangular, 2 to 3 layered. You can show many layered also, but generally while making diagrams we show 2 to 3 layers and a dot to differentiate them. That doesn't mean that only these cells are living, all cells are living. This is just meant for differentiation purpose. And a second layer, now below this we have secondary xylem. So the complete area will be marked with secondary xylem. At certain places, large vessel elements, you can show them singly or in groups. Rest of these, they are filled with parenchyma, tracheids. These large elements, they designate vessels. So these should be double walled and the lumen should be large enough. Okay, so that is the difference of sclerenchyma and xylem. Here see we have shown the lumen in the form of small circles, but in case of xylem we show wide lumen. So both the walls, they should be close together and rest of the area is to be filled with polygonal cells. I am going to complete just a small portion of this. And all these cells, they are to be double walled. Inside, so all double walled, okay, don't forget it. So this way you can complete this portion. Okay, then we have the patches of primary xylem. Now these patches, they should be just below primary phloem. So below this patch, here you will show primary xylem. Similarly below this patch and below this one. And in this we will fill the elements aligned in the form of vertical lines. Same way, double walled. This way you will complete all the patches. Try to make them in a line. double walled, and the gaps can be filled with the simple cross sections showing the parenchyma cells. Okay, and the central part is pith. So the cells of pith starting from secondary xylem, slightly polygonal, but towards center you will make these cells circular. Just 2 to 3 layers of polygonal cells, and afterwards you will make them circular. So there is a gradual transition towards pith, and in this pith region, at the tips of pneumatophore, the pith region of only the tip area, that has abundant sclerids. Okay, so we are not going to show here. If you cut a cross section from tip, then you will observe sclerids in pith region. No overlapping. And we are left with the lenticel. So lenticels, loosely arranged parenchymatous cells, and the last portion left is cuticle. So the labeling part: cuticle, epidermis, outer cork layer, middle cork layer, and inner cork layer. So these are lamellae. Then we have separation layer, cork cambium, stellate cells, and spicules in chlorenchymatous cortex. Endodermis, pericycle, crushed primary phloem, secondary phloem, vascular cambium, secondary xylem, primary xylem, and pith. So this is a part of TS of pneumatophore. One left, lenticel. Okay, so we are drawing only a part of the transverse section. So that is all about the structure of pneumatophore and route modifications for respiration. So this topic is over.